That was on my mind, that's been on my mind recently, is this idea of positive mental health rabbit holes and how they actually create unproductivity when it comes to motivating you and making you better. Why do I want to talk about this? Because I found myself trying to use these videos that had concepts and ideas that were, for the most part, positive, but I would absorb way too much information for it to actually be practical. And what it would be these collective, like, sound bits or different videos from people who were saying motivating things condensed into one video, and you would be fed this positivity, right? And you think that you're doing something positive by listening to all this motivating content, but unless you're actually making practical use of it, then it all amounts to nothing. So it took me a while to find other people that were able to categorize that way of thinking as mental health porn. So I would try and find these answers to how I felt inside and the way I thought. And in doing so, I would come across all these people who wanted to put labels onto all the problems that we had. And I did not like putting a title to a problem that someone else thought I had, someone that I didn't know, right? Because I'm getting all this information from videos. So I'm listening to these people explain what anxiety is, explain what fear is, explain what traumas are. And when I held on to those feelings and emotions and trauma, and I carried them with me as a reason as to this is why I am this way, instead of it being productive, it kept me in this state of mind that held me to those titles. What I was doing was finding a reason to explain to people why I was broken, why I am the way I am, why I can't change that. And I boxed myself in. And I find that a lot of people I talk to have this mentality where they've boxed themselves in. They're inside a room with no way of getting out of it. They've removed all the doors. They've closed all the windows. They're in this dark space, and in that space, the only company they have are these ideas of what they think they are, or someone else has told them what they are. And there's no reason to go out of that space and discover what you really are. People don't like feeling uncomfortable, and pain is something that everyone tries to avoid. But the more I put myself in these uncomfortable situations where I don't know what's going to happen, where the fear of the unknown becomes my worst enemy, and falling in to these situations willingly, you start to open up doors to this room. The internet has made it to where you don't actually have to interact with people physically. And for a lot of people, that works. It's easy for them. But on that same coin, when you flip it over, you find that there tends to be this fear of actually socializing with people in real life. And they avoid it. Why? Because they're afraid of it. So they get boxed into this room. When you put yourself in those situations intentionally, where you have to go out and face that fear, then that's when a door pops up. That's when a window in that room is created. That's when you see things outside of the room that no longer contain you to it. And it's in our nature to be curious, so eventually you're going to find yourself stepping out of that space. It's no longer going to contain you. And that's what the mental health videos were doing for me. They were boxing me into this room. This idea of positive mental health can be viewed as pornographic. If you're going to it and it's just entertainment and you're consuming it mindlessly, then is it really good for you? Your life is going to be a constant uphill battle of you constantly changing, of you constantly forming into this new person. If you want to actually find meaning in your life, then that goal you've been working towards, spend an hour in the morning just doing it. You only have this one shot, one chance. So if it means suffering for a bit, put yourself through that suffering, and you'll find that at the end it's a lot more rewarding than staying stagnant and holding on to this feeling of what if.